Welcome to Gen X Rated Tuesday edition. How are we doing today, guys?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm in Nebraska.
I noticed. What's up with that?
You guys start too late, so I wanted to gain an hour. So I came back here and figured I'd sit on the deck. And the weather was going to be nice this week. And I like to walk my mom's dog. And she bought a vibration plate. And I wanted to make sure she took it out of the fucking box and used it, which we accomplished today. So
nice.
How's she doing from her surgery?
She's stiff, dude. She's got to get over that. It's going to hurt for a while point and just fight through it instead of, chilling on the couch. Because,
did you bring producer Mel with you?
No, she's got to go to New Mexico next week. So we saw the weather forecast and I'm like, I travel much faster without you than with you, or leave much earlier without you than with you. And we don't have anybody to feed our cat. So goodbye.
So here's my question. How many hours of Mel loving you have you gotten today?
Oh, well, and that was the other thing. My book is in my car, but I wrote down the time I pissed her off on what is today? Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Okay, so Sunday I pissed her off at 1:46 p.m. I made it to 1:46 p.m. And then she wanted to fucking do some fucking accoutrement to the fucking pancake mix. We had this organic pancake mix I found buried in the back. I'm like, why don't we try these? Just add water, like USDA organic. And I see her grabbing for the Mexican vanilla. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, don't fucking start Mel out. I'm just fucking make the shit. And then she gave me that look of hate. And I walked over to my book, and I'm like, 1:46 p.m. It's like, oh, fuck. And so, and then we decided I should leave. And she didn't have many problems with it. And then I was driving, and there's no way I'm going to piss her off yesterday, right, dude? Mm-hmm. At like 1:55, I said something where we were talking on the phone, and I just got nothing but silence. And I wrote it down in my book, but I managed to piss her off when I was in the Tesla driving west, and so I am still undefeated and going a full 24 hours and not having hate in her heart, I guess. It's tough, dude. It's tough. I wasn't trying to rage her out talking about the pancakes. I was just like, usually you just make something as is first and taste it and then go from there.
Yeah.
But I opened my big fucking mouth and then there went the full day of love.
Oh man.
It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. That's all right, though.
Keep trying. That's the important part.
She's doing well. She's going to go see our son, who she hasn't seen in months, next week, and that's important. She's going to help him unpack, and he's going to start his new job in New Mexico, and the cost of living is lower there, and fuck Colorado and their prices, and there's no housing.
It's expensive.
So he's starting over again. It's just crazy how these kids, when they start their careers, once they figure out what they're going to do, they bounce around a little bit, They're
flexible and they're willing.
Well, yeah, because he just didn't want this. He wanted, he has a student loan to pay off for his master's degree, and he wanted a certain quality of life where he wasn't just grinding at 80 hours a week. It wasn't about making the most money. It was about like a work-life balance.
For sure.
Absolutely, man. They're smart.
Then he learned.
I love that about this generation.
Then he learned in the world of life, there's toxicity in the workplace sometimes, and he finally started working for a toxic doctor. After working for 3 good ones, he fucking got a bad one, and it's like, nah, this isn't gonna work. I mean, it's not good for their mental health. So
yeah, it's important.
That's a great lead in too, because the opposite of that is, let's say, I don't know, you work for the federal government for the last 10, 20 years straight. You go in, you do your job, you do it well. And now all of a sudden, as Doge is coming in and cutting everything, maybe you need a real job. Maybe you're a big crying baby because you work for the government and that's not a real job.
Yeah.
I bring that up because this woman was raging last night about these cuts are patriotic. And if you're against these Doge cuts, then you're unpatriotic. And she feels like, get a real job in the real world. And
like commenting and calling out Nazi propaganda every day to a bunch of yokels and idiots. Yeah, that's a real job.
Is it
I find it
paper
extremely offensive. This is
Yeah.
Laura Ingraham. If you don't know on the screen who this is, she's a bit of a hater. Always has,
Just a bit.
but she's not alone. There's a rep from Michigan that also spoke out. Her name is what's her name? Lisa McLean, and she also has similar feelings that these people hate America because you do these jobs, and what's the point? They're not even real jobs. But for the record, these jobs get Social Security payments, they get healthcare payments, they get things done. And they've given their life to doing this. I compare this to the forestry where everybody laughed at the park rangers. Oh, time to get a real job. It is a real job. And we've talked about this before. You go sit at the outpost by yourself for 3 months at a time and see how fun that is for the amount of money that you get.
Yeah,
If you
or you
don't
go
have
out and
that
you
magazine,
maintain
if you don't have that magazine Rose had nothing, it's going to be pretty boring.
stuffing.
By the way,
Stuffing.
I shouldn't even told that joke before. I'm going to tell you this. People have committed suicide that have gotten fired from the federal government. That's already happened. So
Yeah, dude, it's horrible.
I
And
don't know
these
how
people,
patriotic it is to kill yourself, but it's pretty miserable when you lose your job and you're not fucking expecting to, based on fucking politics. So
well, not even based on one fucking guy who is, high on his out of his gourd on ketamine and just determined to take his literal and figurative chainsaw to the federal budget without any clue as to what he's doing. It's
I have
like
no
putting
idea.
an infant in charge of a fucking wrecking machine.
And 40% of those contracts that have been canceled by Doge, not only were they already government funded, zero savings.
right.
They've saved
Yeah.
nothing.
Oh yeah.
So you're just dicks to be dicks, I guess, which
Well, it's like
Mhm.
defunding the IRS. They don't want the IRS to go after the rich, but every time the IRS goes after the rich, every dollar they spend, they get $12 to $25 back. Every time they go after the average Joe, they break even. So
Yeah.
why going after the rich? And it also changes behavior. The most important thing is the rich start paying the fucking taxes after the fucking audit.
wow,
So
that's a novel thought.
they're just really trying to drown it in a fucking tub of bath. They're trying to drown the baby in bathwater. They're trying to destroy government as we know it, make it so miserable that we beg our daddy to, I don't know, give us something in the breadline. I don't know. It's not going to be the way of life you're accustomed to, America.
It's not.
We're 5% of the population. We're used to using 25% of the fucking resources on average. That's gonna fucking change, man. So get ready to ration your fucking eggs.
Yeah.
Well,
On eBay.
and it's funny you would bring that up because now the FDA, the FDA has hired Kyle Diamantis, who's a Florida attorney, 37 years old, and he happens to be great friends with Donnie Jr. This guy right here that likes to cut tails off elephants, which are an amazing creature, but this guy's a fucking jerk off. Anyway, he will oversee 80% of our U.S. food supply.
Jesus.
To me, that's terrifying. But again, I guess it's not nepotism, but it is definitely cronyism.
Absolutely.
And we're
Isn't
okay
that
with it as
isn't
long
that
as
what farmers wanted, man? I mean, I saw a lot of fucking Trump signage. We're back, baby, driving here. There was a lot of farms that had a lot of shit in Indiana, fucking with their Trump shit up, celebrating it.
Yeah, well,
This is what you wanted, man. You guys
got
you're about to find out, man. He doesn't give a fuck about you
yeah.
either.
Check it out on your drive back. You're going to see a lot of up for auction and for sale signs in front of those farms because they are going to be fucking forced out of business because all that soybeans and corn and everything that USAID bought from you, that's gone. And
No
all
more.
those guarantees that you were given by the Biden administration, that's gone. That money's not coming in. So yeah, you fucked around and now you're going to find out.
This is Kyle right here. You might have thought he was a farmer, but he's not. He's a Florida attorney. So
He looks like a Kyle.
probably not. And him and his buddy like to go out and kill wild turkeys. So that's always fun too.
Yeah, him and his buddy couldn't pass a basic fucking lie detector test on 2 questions. Have you ever used the N-word? And have you ever used cocaine? They would fucking fail miserably. That's all you need to know about those 2 motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, all allegedly. So
Allegedly.
but it's troubling. What else you got in the news today, big guy?
Well, I did want to say that there were 20 plus Doge staffers today that resigned. They are civil service employees, so I guess those aren't important jobs. But in this instance, it is. They refused, and they came from Google. They came from several high-ranking, technical jobs that they worked, but they refused to use their technical expertise to dismantle critical public services. What I found interesting was that they also swore an oath not only to the American people, but to the Constitution. And they walked away because they can't, in good faith, keep their pledge and do what is actually happening. Yes, you'll hear from the White House that this is all bloated stuff that had to be done. I did find that Caroline with a K, she's starting to fade a little bit. The questions are getting a little bit tougher. Yeah, Caroline. She's having some trouble answering these questions. She keeps coming back to our Lord Savior Trump, which is just a little bit weird and not necessarily an answer to any of the questions. She did say that she would let people know off the podium who the head of Doge is, but it wasn't something she felt comfortable sharing from the podium, which to me seems really off-putting.
Well, yeah, and let's face it. I mean, dude, she was just a fucking crony hire. She's completely unqualified.
It's wearing her out.
Well, it should.
No, her husband's wearing her out. He's 60 years old, popping 20 milligrams of fucking Cialis every fucking night, banging the shit out of her because she's 12 fucking years old, and she doesn't have time to do her fucking research. She isn't taking her big booklet like fucking Kayleigh McEnany and going through fucking names and numbers. She doesn't have time. She has to lay underneath her weird ass fucking 90-year-old husband every fucking day. You giving Anna Nicole Smith shit. Why aren't you giving this chick some shit? That's some creepy shit. And she got pregnant by him like almost fucking immediately. So he's on top of her all the fucking time with those fucking half dead squids in his.
Slow swimmers.
And finally he picked a fucking winner, got one through for fuck's sake.
Oh my God.
So,
on that note,
shooting mud, fucking Rob. He's shooting mud. At his fucking age, that fucking guy, give me a fucking break. And it's disgusting. You're a vile motherfucker. And obviously, she doesn't have time to do her fucking job. Because if I fucking have a fucking 20-something-year-old girlfriend like Belichick or this fucking guy, I'm going to spend all my time fucking popping every ED pill I can get my hands on and banging her until she leaves me.
I think Belichick's getting tired of his lady. Did you see her walking out of that UNC game with her jacket around her shoulders looking like a grade schooler?
Like a kid? Like a child?
Like a child.
Why do you think Belichick's tired of that, dude? That might actually turn him on.
Oh, geez.
I don't know, man. And you know what?
What do you mean, oh, geez? He's the one fucking dating her. We can speculate for fucking sake.
I think now that he's got to deal with children, that he's recruiting children, he's tired of living with one. But I could be wrong. I don't know what votes that guy's vote.
Does he even live with her? I mean, dude, she might have a bungalow in back.
Yeah, I don't know. Good point.
They might have old school landline where he just picks up a fucking like a red phone and fucking calls her over after once he's kicked in. But with that fucking gut, she's on top all the time, so you already know the position.
Oh, for fuck's sake! What the fuck are we doing here?
I'm gonna lay here and smoke my cigar and
you just move around a little bit.
Some positive news. Apparently, in the last 90 minutes. The budget vote looks like it's going to be delayed. There's not a single Democrat that's going to vote for this budget, which I think is commendable, even though they're extremely disappointing. There are several Republicans as well that are not on board. Part of the reason I want to just go over what Medicaid does really quickly and who it affects, because this is what they're trying to rip out so that they can pay off these 6 billionaires. 21% of Americans nationally are on Medicaid. 83 million low-income Americans, 4 in 10 children. That's 40% of all of our kids. 1 in 4 adults with disabilities are taken care of on this. Nearly 50% of kids with special needs. We know how we love to help them. 41% of births nationwide occur through Medicaid. 5 in 8 nursing home residents. I don't want to leave the elderly out of this too, because I know boomers love to push their parents into the homes.
Boomers are going to be going into them soon.
30% of people in Mike Johnson's home state are on Medicaid, and this is the guy pushing it. So, hey, home state for Mike Johnson, I hope you're listening.
Well, so I think that good book you like to pull down when you need an answer to a tough question, I think it says to look out for people like that: the poor, the sick, the old. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he's reading from a different book. I don't know. Mein Kampf, perhaps. But
I like how the Romans did it. the Romans used to grab each other's fucking nuts, right? The men, and fucking, sort of swear an oath to you. They grab your testicles, and that's where the word testify comes from, if you didn't know.
Really? I did not.
Really? I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Huh.
Yeah, it comes from testy, because the Romans would grab each other's fucking nuts, going, man, this is the real deal. We're not going to fuck each other on this deal. This, it's like everyone thinks they cut their fucking hands and fucking our blood. No, they grabbed each other's nuts. That's where the word testify comes from. Just so you know. Maybe we should go back to the Roman style where you're just grabbing each other's nuts. I'm sure fucking Mike has fucking nuts of an emu egg. No, I'm just...
That was a great scene. What was the movie with your horny Gene Hackman?
Mississippi Burning.
Mississippi Burning.
Yeah.
Where he was down there with this fucking sheriff who was busting balls and giving him a hard time until he gave him the old testify.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Google it, man. Before Google, I was a genius. Now I'm just a liar.
I believe you, Gene.
I believe you.
Always a good source.
Well, anyway, I did the math real quick, and with that and boomers being on Medicare, we're talking about 150 million out of 340 million Americans are on some sort of subsidized health care, which means we could have just added the other half and we could just have Medicare for all, or done some shit, or public option or some shit. So clearly they're just fucking with us to steal from us, and Democrats aren't useful at the moment.
Not at the moment. They better get useful, though.
They're taking some fucking Elon Musk money, I heard, too. So,
well, and speaking of Elon Musk, I'm going to jump to the FAA, because I don't know if anybody saw it, but today at Midway Airport in Chicago, there was a Southwest flight that happened to be landing. And as he went to touch down, they saw a private jet crossing his path. He literally couldn't even do a touchdown and take off.
Oh, wow.
He just had to get up. And they avoided, it's probably somebody really important's private jet. But that was pretty dangerous, again, through the FAA. We also had 200 passengers on a United flight that had to do an emergency landing in Newark today because of mechanical issues. I want to finish by saying the FAA today agreed to use SpaceX and their Starlink internet system to manage all U.S. airspace, which seems like a conflict of interest again for Elon. But I think my point is, how many near misses and actual fatality plane crashes have we had in the last 6 weeks compared to the year before it? I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And here's the thing, man. So you're going to give Starlink control, right? This is a guy that'll shut it off at the drop of a hat when he doesn't get what he wants. He did it to Ukraine. I'm going to shut it all down. You're going to put, dude, why don't you just give an infant a loaded gun?
And to your point, this is a lot like when they tried to privatize the St. Louis airport, and it didn't go very far. And then it turned out that all the money was coming from Russia, which was really bizarre. But my point being that you start having accidents, there's no liability. There's no chain. Oh, we have a fund that pays for this out of a government fund. No, it's, hey, I'm rich. I do this. I control it. Good luck. Take it to court.
Yeah.
And did we all forget about too big to fail when we have some fucking industry that we fucking rely on, some tech industry, some bullshit, and it fails miserably? They're just gonna have their hands out, and fucking whoever the politician is they're beholden to them, dude. We're gonna pay for it.
Sure. The housing industry got their payout. The financial industry got their payout. The automobile industry got their payout.
Was fucking ranting the other day about how fucking young people don't want to work 7 days a week and shit, and fucking put the grind in and whatever. And like, I would work 7 days a week if I made your kind of money. But do these fucking boomers think they can take this shit with them? Because they can't. I mean,
yeah, they're going to spend it all before they go.
Sure, we already saw that. They're not giving anything away.
Yeah,
they can't spend it. They can't spend. I mean, most of the richest of the rich, dude.
Those motherfuckers. Yeah,
in 10 lifetimes.
So, but I guess I don't know, man. It just seems like a lot's changed, but a lot's the same, because people just go through their motions, and they're going to work every day, and they're on the turnpike, and they're popping to their music. And by the way, dude, I don't know when this happened, but it just dawned on me. Every fucking route I drive now, every highway has just nothing but unmarked cars, and it can be any fucking car on the fucking planet. I am following a fucking Chevy Silverado pickup truck yesterday in Illinois on 80. just following it, just following it at its speed. All windows all blacked out, regular license plate. All of a sudden, it decides it wants to make a U-turn on the highway, flips on all these fucking lights and cop lights. I'm like, dude, I had no fucking idea I was following a cop. No fucking idea. I saw a red fucking Chevy something or other that was a fucking like a speed trap, just a regular looking fucking car. They were driving around in black Chevy Blazers. Every state, they just drive regular fucking cars now. It's crazy. Like,
it's fucking nuts.
Don't be getting a fucking blowy, Bill. I know you like to get blowies on the road. Don't be getting a blowy passing other cars and shit. Semis are fine. There ain't no cops in the semis, and they're all serial killers and on crank anyway. But yeah, dude, you do not know who's a cop, and they might be driving a fucking Toyota. By the way, they might be driving a
Listen,
Chevy.
we saw for $29.99, you can get a little ice outfit with the jacket. You can go into Home Depot and scare people, watch them run. It's fun.
Oh, dude, these people are so fucked up.
I don't know. That's I saw. Yeah, I've seen that they're having their moment, dude. I saw Enrique.
They are having their moment, but why do they have to be the worst of the worst? Is my question.
Look at Enrique Tarrio, dude. Dude just got out of prison, and he thought the best way to use his time is to find Mike Fanone and that big black dude, and harass them behind a million people, knowing they can't kick his ass on camera.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I'll tell you this much, dude. Don't fuck with cops and ex-cops. I mean, you may be screaming all this shit at Mike Fanone and all these cops that fucking hate your cops. Dude, they're still cops with cop minds. And they have
cop friends.
Cop mentality.
Enrique Tarrio is like literally playing the fucking most dangerous game in the world right now. I don't know who he thinks is going to protect his black Cuban ass. Bro, you ain't white. You ain't white. As a matter of fact, I was driving today with my 5 o'clock shadow and shit. I was like, fuck, dude. I could pass for Enrique Tarrio if I lost 400 pounds and was 7 inches shorter. But I'm just saying, I kind of have that fucking black Cuban look. It's like, dude, you ain't white, dude. And I never rolled around, and I'm half white. I never rolled around life going, I'm white. I can do this. This dude is having his moment, but he better fucking with cops, ex-cops, dude. Big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I give a fuck. Whatever you get, you deserve.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
They gave OJ 33 years for trying to get his memorabilia back, but it was really about killing his wife. Dude, did you guys see that Netflix documentary, by the way? It's
Which one?
It's a new one on Netflix about OJ. It shows the crime scene photos. It talks to Dart, and it talks to just all the principals that wanted to talk to him.
Wow.
And it doesn't take any angle of innocent or guilt. It's like clearly he's fucking guilty. Talked to a sports agent about all the fucking money they were making. He paid for that fucking trial on his own, cash money. All those lawyers, because he was signing millions of dollars worth of fucking memorabilia while he was sitting in prison, and it was just going out the door. He was so fucking infamous and famous at the time. His agent, they were just making bank. So he bankrolled this entire thing. He did not fucking take a loan out. He did not borrow money. He just kept signing autographs and making bank. If you're ever wondering why he was in Las Vegas trying to get his shit back, it's because his shit's worth a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
But it was
OJ.
He's a fucking narcissistic motherfucker. Dude, he's a crazy motherfucker.
And he took a lot of hits too. I mean,
I was going to say, you think
he was always like that, dude, from
Oakland.
Young,
yes.
I mean, just USC. He was always like, OJ just wanted to be OJ. He didn't want to fucking be black. He didn't want to be the N-word. He just wanted to be OJ. He wanted to be loved by everybody,
especially white people.
But when he flipped his switch, man, you could see it in his eyes during that trial where he went away for 33 years. The prosecutors got him. They got him to fucking snap. And then his defense lawyer had to call a timeout real quick. And OJ stood up in a psychotic manner, and he's like, ha! I just started laughing, right? It was creepy as fuck. So I recommend that Netflix thing. That was crazy how much that just changed the dynamic of race relations, which Chris Darden says is worse today than it ever was. And he got run through the fucking ringer, just being pulled into that whole trial.
Was it Blood, Lies, and Murder? Is that what this was?
It's a 4-part series on Netflix. It's brand new this month, so I guess yes. dude, I don't pay attention to the particulars. I just flip on. Oh, it's new. It's OJ.
Well, if you've
So I
never
watched it.
seen it, the ESPN documentary, and this is from like 2017 maybe.
Mhm.
OJ Made in America is excellent.
Also very
Yeah, I've
good.
never seen that one, but this one
It's
I
worth
like.
it.
It is.
It was really good.
It
Okay.
goes back. The first episode goes back just to the roots of the racist LAPD, and it kind of sets up the whole thing. But it's an excellent documentary.
That
It's
the
very
whole
well
glove
done.
thing. That
You
was
know,
Chris.
that photo, those gloves seem to be fitting okay.
That was Chris Darden's idea, by the way, because he knew they were losing the trial and he was just trying to fucking hit a home run. Marsha Clark did not want to do the gloves, but she made a fucking ton of mistakes too. They
Yeah.
both, but I mean, dude, they got just owned by, 11 of, F. Lee Buckley, Barry Shack, all these fucking lawyers, just
Yeah.
everything. And then there was Mark Furman. Mark Furman's prominent in this four-part series.
Racist cop.
Dude, he's made peace with it. He goes, it will be on my tombstone. I get it. He's older, he's wiser now. It's just he's so matter of fact about
But
it.
does a leopard ever change his spots?
I don't
Once
care.
a racist, always a racist.
I don't care what he is anymore. I liked his answers because it is what it is. And I like
Yeah, no, I get that.
he's not hiding from it. He's like, his wife came up to him when this shit all went down and they're like, they're gonna blame you. And he's like, and she was right. I mean,
Just your Mark Furman?
this is him doing the interview. Dude, it was a great. You'll binge watch it.
I'll check it out for sure.
You'll
Yeah.
binge watch it. So it was great. It's a different perspective. No guilt, no innocence bullshit. But it's just talking to everybody that was involved in that fucking trial.
Well,
And
I saw parts of that. They
Huh?
thought I saw some preview talk about it, and that maybe he was waiting in the car while somebody else was actively participating, and then he had to come out and join in. So all kinds of different theories.
The
Oh yeah, well, one of the
craziest
ones that I saw was
Okay.
just with the way she was stabbed, that there would have been arterial spray,
Yeah.
right? And that scene was a bloody mess. He didn't have that blood on him.
Yeah.
Well, his agent, the craziest thing I think in the documentary is
The bag that walked away.
well, no, when his agent was and by the way, they didn't call a lot of witnesses for shit like that. For him dumping the bag, for him dumping what
You
looked
saw
like
Kardashian
a
walk
knife.
away, though. It was in the documentary. He walks away carrying that bag to never be seen again.
Right.
Mhm.
They
Go
didn't,
ahead, I'm
they
sorry.
didn't even mention Kardashian with that bag, but they did talk about the bag. And yeah, and OJ didn't want anybody to touch that fucking bag. When he went to the airport, he had like Louis Vuitton luggage and this crappy bag, apparently. And then that bag did not make the trip wherever he went. But anyway, the creepiest thing for me in the documentary is when, he's like, dude, his agent's like, dude, you think we didn't talk about this stuff? He's like, I'll tell you this. This is what he said, basically. If she hadn't have come to the door with a knife, she'd be here today.
Wow.
Now, he's not saying he believed that he said that, but that's what he's saying OJ said to him.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fucking, so it's worth a watch.
I thought
Okay.
this was kind of an interesting picture if you can recognize the two on the right. I mean, she went on to do great things in entertainment, and he is now she.
Well,
Sure.
it looks like he had fucking like way more plastic surgery than all of them
Yeah.
until, yeah. Well, he is now Caitlyn to the world, but to America and his passport, he is Bruce again.
He's
So-
Bruce.
Which and hey, no problem with that. Bruce is a fucking Olympic gold medalist in the decathlon. Bruce was a badass
Yeah.
as an athlete. So again, athletes can be great athletes and do weird shit in life. Look at OJ. Look at Bruce. Look at. You want to be trans, and I'm not saying being trans is weird. I'm saying being a trans MAGA is weird as fuck. I don't know
Yeah.
if you're a MAGA, but
I'd agree with that 1,000%.
Is Dennis Rodman MAGA?
Dennis Rodman's Dennis Rodman. Dude, narcissists are narcissists and psychopaths are psychopaths. And Dennis Rodman should try to work on a relationship with his fucking kids that he has none with. It doesn't, his political affiliation shouldn't matter. He's a terrible fucking father and his kids have talent.
Yeah. His one daughter, I don't think really speaks to him. She plays basketball. She's a stud.
Well, the other daughter was an Olympic soccer player. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and a pro
Listen,
soccer.
you can't argue his talent. That guy was
Oh, yeah.
unbelievable.
Well, and he
Yeah,
took care of the equipment guys.
He did?
Yeah.
He was one of those guys. See, I
He's one
know,
of those
dude. Isn't
guys.
it
So
crazy?
yeah, give him props for that because
I
MJ sure
like
didn't.
that.
Yeah. No. There's I don't know, man. I don't know why some guys do and some guys don't, but there are definitely 1,000 different personalities in team sports.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of Rodman for you. A lot of flair.
Mm.
His teammates never really complained about him, that's for sure.
He was good at what he did.
And he won some titles.
Does he
Was
quit
a little-
drinking? Does he have money? I've never heard of him having money problems or anything, right?
I wouldn't think so, no.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he's a big draw. He just makes money showing up at a fucking rave, dude. So
Yeah.
But yeah, he got his moment to get attention. Someone who, as a rebounder, you don't, it's like being an old lineman. You don't get a lot of attention for that normally.
You're right. But when you're flying through the air like this, I mean, the effort was just amazing with that guy.
Yeah, once they caught on, he was special at a particular thing. He went with it, dude. He rolled with it. But it's I don't know if it served him well as a dad, but God bless him if he's having a good time.
Listen, I really didn't plan to jump to this because I had something else I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to put this up because apparently there's been a little turnaround on the Eagles visiting the White House.
Oh man, I saw that yesterday.
The Eagles were disinvited in 2018, told, hey, you can come, don't come. But now they're saying that they would accept an invitation. They have not turned one down because now the White House is saying, hey, we didn't offer them a trip to the White House. So Lane Johnson says that it would be an honor no matter who the president is.
And why does that shock you? Lane Johnson got suspended twice for fucking performance-enhancing drugs. So, of course, Lane Johnson would be the front runner. A fucking cheater, a known fucking cheater, would come running out front and be in full MAGA. These guys, go ahead and destroy all your fucking black-white friendships. You might win fucking games and championships. None of these motherfuckers are going to talk to you when it's all said and done because you've chosen your side, and it's just whiteness and maleness, and it's silly and destructive, stupid
dickishness,
and whatever, dude. Fucking, of course, the cheater came out and fucking.
Oh yeah.
And then go ahead, Billy.
We'll see who actually shows up for this little sideshow.
They haven't been invited yet. Okay, you know Trump's very thin-skinned. There's no guarantee of an invite. Okay, we heard the rumors.
Yeah.
I did want to jump to something we had talked about.
Wait a second. What the fuck is the food gonna be? Fucking fast food again? These world-class athletes gonna get fucking cold McDonald's and shit?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, seriously.
Before you go,
you should negotiate the fucking food because this guy's cheap as fuck, dude. He'll take whatever budget they had and he'll pocket 90% of it.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Wendy's.
Just get him some Jack in the Box. He'll be fine.
Wendy's is more expensive. He'll go with McDonald's or Crystal because those are
Rob,
really tiny ones.
Yes.
I have a Jack in the Box story.
Okay.
Got on a plane. My first plane trip ever. I was a senior in high school. We were flying to go to Disney World or Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, basically LA.
Okay.
Rent a car in LA and drive up to San Francisco and do all that shit as a family. Because all my family in Denver worked for Frontier Airlines. And we got, buddy passes, and you had to dress in suits and dress real nice back in the fucking day in the 80s when you flew. And we got there and we landed in LA, and the first thing the cab driver did was scam us on the fare and act like he couldn't find the fucking hotel. So that cost us money. And then, we did the Disneyland thing, Knott's Berry Farm, worst fucking, terrible experience. Then drove up to San Francisco, right? And we're walking the streets of San Francisco as a family of four. My brother's 3.5 years younger than me. I think I was like 16, 17-ish. And then my parents were probably in their 30s because they had me at 20, late 30s. And we're walking up the dark streets of San Francisco. Remember, it wasn't San Francisco of today, right? It's like New York and San Francisco, those big cities back in the fucking 80s and kind of shady and creepy. Mm-hmm. We ended up getting hungry and we found like a city Jack in the Box. Went in there. I'd never been in a Jack in the Box before in my life. I'm not from the West Coast. I'm from the Midwest. Everybody working behind the counter was like heroin high as fuck. Heroin high as fuck. Trying to take our fucking order, fucking doing the heroin drop and shit. You can, I swear to God, you can ask my mom on this. My dad has dementia. He's not going to remember. My mom will remember this shit. Ordered food for 4, right? They're like, all right, cool. Go sit down. We'll bring it to you. Brought us food for 1. like because they were so fucking high. My dad like lost his shit. Like, give me fucking money back. Fucking digging his hand in the fucking cash register. None of them. They were so fucking heroin high they couldn't fight back. Got his fucking money back. We got the fuck out of there. That was my crazy San Francisco Jack in the Box story. Since you brought it up,
Sure.
and I think that's the one and only time since then I've ever been in a Jack in the Box. And I was wearing my fucking Crate and Prep Letterman jacket and looking good, dirty, and good thing I didn't get kidnapped and end up in Mexico.
I think in the late 80s, when I was in Southern California, they had a meat scare, did they not?
Yeah, that
Jack in the
sounds
Box.
familiar. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, and people stopped eating there, and then all of a
It was
sudden,
E. coli, wasn't it?
what was it?
Was it E. coli? An E.
I think it
coli
was E.
scare?
coli.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had no idea about that. I just had heroin addicts trying to fucking weird, man. But
Oh my gosh.
when you're from Omaha, Nebraska, that is that's burned into your brain forever.
And that was
Oh,
before
yeah.
time. My gosh.
Yeah, first time too. First timer.
Well, not speaking of heroin addicts, but I did want to put this guy back up. Justin's kind of in the news in that the NFL is getting close to free agency. So their general manager started getting questions about this. Now, granted, we talked about this, I want to say in January, about the allegations, which are up to 16. The GM finally came out and called these allegations serious and concerning. So, of course, they're going to let the league investigate, and then we'll see. But again, as to your point, Gene, the comparison between the reaction with Cleveland's quarterback getting massage, Deshaun Watson, compared to this guy. Here's a little bit of Justin on IG with his Skechers on. So
There's Vans. Are those Skechers or Vans? They look like they might be Vans.
Oh, they're Vans. You're right. My bad. But he seems like the type that might want a little extra at his massage, allegedly. But to me, one being a white man, one being a black man, the delay in time that we even give a shit about this. This guy, as Gene pointed out, has been doing it since his rookie season after he came out of Texas.
Yeah.
Why did he get a free pass? I'm not really sure. And the NFL investigated poorly. So
Baltimore should fucking know better after their Ray Rice debacle.
Yeah, right.
They should be the first ones in the league on top of fucking bullshit. So,
but here's the general manager, right?
Yeah.
Eric DaCosta. And who was the general manager when the Ray Rice stuff happened? Was it Newsom or
was
not?
it Ozzie
Yeah,
Newsom?
It would have been Ozzie.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah, would have been Ozzie.
So again, we're seeing shades of differences here. I'm not trying to be too pointed.
What could that be? I wonder.
Very odd to me.
Do you remember when Kohler would call the defense and White, there was a certain formation for White, and his hand signal was because Kohler was white. You remember that?
Yeah, but he was just breaking it down to the simplest way to send you the signal.
Oh, I know, but that just kind of struck me with that.
It would have been worse if the signal was black and he grabbed his assistant's black hand and fucking did it. So at least he was doing it to himself. It ain't no thing.
That would be a problem. Yes.
Yeah, that won't be a problem.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, they should. The NFL's a joke, dude. They punish who they want to punish, and whatever they think they can get away with, they can get away with. Look, Lane Johnson. I got in an argument on Blue Sky with a bunch of Philadelphia fans because someone wrote some article about his amazing, career. It can't be questioned or whatever. And I'm like, I can question it a little bit. He got fucking busted twice for fucking, performance and shit. And then they just nothing but excuses as to why he did it or how he did it. Or it
probably had an injury he was rehabbing.
It was Adderall. It was this. It's like, that don't fucking matter, dude. I played fucking 9 years and piss test all the fucking time. Got busted on pot. Never got busted on steroids. Okay. These are facts. They check these fucking things. You get popped, you get popped. And I didn't question whether he's going to the Hall of Fame. The motherfucker's going to go to the Hall of Fame. But when I say someone that played clean their whole career and went to as many Pro Bowls like Richmond Webb, why is he fucking being left the fuck out? Why you guys are fighting a dude that's been fucking busted twice as a fucking half black dude? I'm like, I'm questioning your fucking logic. If you'd want anybody in the fucking Hall of Fame, why not Richmond Webb? Clean as fuck, played his ass off, played for fucking Dan Marino. No, he doesn't have the fucking Super Bowl fucking whatever hardware, but that doesn't fucking always fucking matter. So comparables are comparables, And me looking at my fucking teammate who didn't cheat and someone who got caught twice, accidentally or not, twice, and wants to go to the White House. Give me a fucking break, dude. I'm going to choose my teammate every fucking time. He played clean. He got piss tested all the time. He went to several Pro Bowls. He was a fucking stud. He was fucking all pro.
He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
And I'm not trying to drag Richmond into fucking this Lane Johnson shit at all.
Sure.
Richmond's fucking career speaks for itself. I'm just saying, look past this, guys. Look past this. Look past this. You just fucking look at, if you literally want to look at merit, all right, compare Pete Hegseth to his predecessor. Compare Raising Cane to his predecessor. Compare Trump to his predecessor. If you want to compare merit to fucking merit, compare Obama to his fucking predecessor. Can they compare merit? Don't fucking sit here and fucking make up shit about fucking DEI.
Yes, on merit. I love that.
Yeah.
DEI is funny when you say the N-word. It's fun while it lasts, but even my mom, who was born in the late 40s and is a boomer, knows that even Lyndon Baines Johnson said, if you let the white guy say the N-word in any form, way, shape, or form, you just go, and I'm paraphrasing, you just go in and pick his pocket all you want. And I'm talking about the white guy. And that's literally is happening to you right now. Ron made some shit about wokeism. You guys don't even know what the fuck it is. You can't define it
because they hijacked the term.
Used to be a good thing.
It's completely undefinable by fucking white people.
Yeah.
White people, because it was fucking invented by black people. So
exactly. Dude, they just repeat what they hear on Fox News.
The N-word. You want to make DEI the N fucking word. And right now they're just picking your pocket, but you get to say DEI all you want. They're picking your pocket. Every time a plane crashes, it must be DEI. They're picking your pocket. They're picking your pocket. Enjoy that shit. You're gonna be broke, but you're gonna be able to say DEI and woke.
And maybe say the words instead of just DEI. Instead of the initial.
They probably don't even know what the words are.
They don't even know what it means, dude. And
I don't think they know.
And the inclusion part included a whole lot of fucking white women, by the way.
A lot of white women.
The biggest benefactor of all these programs that you guys bitch about all the time.
And that brings me to an excellent point, Gene. I appreciate you bringing up women and their voting. There's a bill right now. It's called the SAVE Act, which is the Safeguard the American Voter Eligibility Act. It's a doozy, and I'm just going to say right now that it affects women for the most part. There's 69 million women that took the names of their husbands when they got married. Now, these are opposite sex, obviously. I'm not going to get too into the weeds here, but 8 out of 10 women that get married take their husband's name. Once you have your spouse's last name, with this new act, you have to show proof of identification. So you need probably a passport to do that. A third of the women don't have access to the documents that would have their current legal name on it, which is a problem when you go vote, because this is another hurdle for white women and women in general. Half the women don't have passports. So when you say, oh, this is easy, I'll just use my passport, most people don't have a passport. So it's a real problem.
Rich people have passports.
Yes.
Poor people don't.
Correct. And poor white women were giant supporters of this administration. So what it affects as far as voting, where we did find fraudulent voting, was 0.0001%. This law is strictly to make it harder for women to vote. I think most of the women that are being told how to vote by their husband probably won't vote anyway, because this is 2 steps to get you to the ballot box that you're not going to do anyway. But for the women that do have a mind of their own and do understand fairness, etc., this is going to be a problem. This is something that you need to reach out and talk to your Congress people about. These are women back in the day trying to get their equality vote. I did find it interesting that it was all over the place. This is the Tennessee vote for women. They're kind of being pushed back down because this whole generation just feels that, men are superior. And as Gene likes to point out all the time, not a fact. We need more women in charge to keep progressing. But the men in charge just want to regress. We're going to put up the borders. We're going to, I mean, they said today, it's so ridiculous about that pipeline, the Keystone pipeline. So important. We bought all that steel from China. We built this piece of shit, and it is garbage. It leaks right through the middle of the country. And the whole point was to bring crude oil down from Canada, which now we hate Canadians, and we don't want their stupid oil. But today, press speaker with a K said, hey, we're progressing. We need this pipeline. This pipeline is so important. So it's super confusing. And as we continue to share every 3 times a week here, inform yourself, check your sources, don't doom scroll, and be active. I've spoken to several of my neighbors. I run into people all the time when I'm out. People are outraged. People are ready to take action. And we're starting to see at these town halls. Now, the Republicans do come out and they say these people, these town halls are just giant babies and they hate America. But they want answers. They want to know why an unelected Musk is in here jerking around with any of this information that he has no access to. Or Big Balls. Big Balls happens to be the grandson of some KGB guy.
Yeah, how about that?
As Gene says, you can't make this stuff up.
You literally can't. It's insane.
And
I've seen.
You sent that article about from Tom Hartman. I was curious a little bit more on that for both.
Yeah, it's a good article, man.
It was, Tom Hartman. Anybody who's looking for a good source on what's happening, Tom Hartman should be in your top 3.
THOM, by the way.
Yes, THOM.
Oh, and two is it two
N?
Two T's?
N. Hartman.
Hartman, yeah.
All right. People might Google it the wrong way. Go ahead. Tell the story.
It was just an interesting piece, and it kind of tied into the SAVE Act, but it talks about just how the Republicans have made it harder to vote, how they've fucking stolen elections, right? Through kicking people off the rolls, having signatures have to match, gerrymandering. And the question is, why don't the Democrats fight back and use this? Why? Because we do things the right way. Well, here's the thing. You know what? You're getting your face kicked in. We're getting the shit beaten out of us. And you know what? If you have to pick up a handful of sand and throw it in their face and then kick them in the nuts, do it. Because it's just gotten to the point where we're never going to win another election.
Yeah.
And part of the SAVE Act now is, I believe, for military people serving overseas, you've got to come back to the States to re-register. You can't do it online. Ridiculous.
And the military traditionally votes Republican, so you did it to yourself. You faffed yourself. So I don't know what to tell you.
Well, and even when they did vote Democratic, those ballots seem to end up somewhere else.
They seem to lose those ballots. But between just the gerrymandering, which the Democrats can do too, you can do that. They refuse to do it. But that could he hypothesized that could have, had they done that, that could have gained the Democrats the 3 seats they needed in the House.
Well, we still have an opportunity in April in Florida. Very important special elections. And we may be having more as people start coming out of Congress due to fraudulent activities. We'll see.
Oh, man. You have to really be a fraud to get caught in this atmosphere with these people.
Well, again, if we're not going to do things, and remind me again, Rob, when is that boycott?
The 28th. So it's this Friday. Do not buy anything. No gas. Nothing from Amazon. Nothing from Target. Nothing. And I think that's within reason. If you need gas, get it on Thursday. If you have to do something, do it locally. But the point is to show the power of the people, which is to not spend. Because that's how
do it locally, and don't do it with anybody with a MAGA flag outside there.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
And locally doesn't mean your local Target.
Yeah, exactly.
Or your local Home Depot, both big Trump contributors. So
correct.
No. Yeah, we're going to have to do little things. It just doesn't feel like the Democrats are ready to sign on to what we want. Yeah, we're screaming pretty fucking loud about what the fuck you're going to do. And
as long as Hakeem Jeffries is taking money from the Elon Musk PAC,
good point.
They're never going to do anything.
Yeah,
so
Democrats are taking money from Elon Musk's lobbying group.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a problem.
That buys their silence.
Problem.
You can't say anything.
Yeah. You can't threaten Elon with deportation knowing he got here illegally on a student visa but never went to fucking college and somehow became a citizen. I mean, these are real
Yeah.
things. These are things Republicans would do to Democrats if we tried to pull this bullshit on them. But we sit here, we make no threats. You got one 90-year-old man running around, Bernie Sanders, from Midwest state to Midwest state. He was just in Omaha and stopped by Iowa City, I think, getting big crowds, many of whom were Republican,
Dude, he's
who were
reaching out to these
very
people.
concerned.
He's
And
got an amazing message. He's resonating with a lot of people on both sides of the aisle.
Rob,
I hate saying, I hate the both sides shit. I'm sorry, Gene.
this is the part where I shit on Democrats and go, you could have had Bernie Sanders, but you let the establishment fuck him over.
Yeah. And that had nothing to do with the people. As you point out, that was the establishment. People were behind
I'm not
Bernie.
on the people. I'm shitting on our establishment. The Democrats we have that have been established and get handed these jobs down and wait in line for their jobs. Fuck that, dude. I want competition and merit-based fucking promotions as well.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Well, and you talk about the merit-based. I just wanted to put this up. I was having a nostalgic moment, perhaps. I don't know. But, I remember going to my neighbor's house and hanging out. You didn't have all the distractions of the smartphone. I know even when Uncle Bill comes over, we're generally on our phones hanging out, if we're watching sports, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of different. The expectation was different. We had phones like this that you had to put your finger in. You weren't speed dialing anybody, but nobody cared, right?
You had to share a phone with Bill after he used the magazine nutting, and you had to stick your finger in those. Oh my god, I feel so bad.
It was
That's
stuffing.
terrible.
Well, listen, we evolved to the push button. It was a lot safer than
now. You could just like, my goodness.
Sorry, I think, and Gene, this is for you, buddy, because I know you had the block.
I had a brick.
Oh yeah.
I had a baby brick though. Mine wasn't mine was the second generation brick, which is maybe like a third smaller, but still very large. That looks like the original.
Oh yeah. Or the bag phone.
I just felt like it was a little bit of a different time where it wasn't so rushed. Your parents weren't taking you all over the place, hovering constantly. You had a little bit of time, not only to know your neighbors, but local businesses. All that local interest that you stayed in also brought in what? Local produce, fresh food. You had this weird sense of community. I mean, I remember where we came from. You took some pride in that. You weren't worried about the future as much as just, hey, yeah, sure, I'm likely to go to college. You go through the system. Your parents weren't saying, hey, you need to be a doctor, you need to be a lawyer, or any of this other stuff. And again, like the parent competition, like my mom didn't really care what the neighbors thought about us or her or whatever. Whereas now it's like, keeping up with the Joneses, violin lessons, piano lessons, sports lessons, private sport lessons. I mean, it's just so crazy that along with our politics, it's really just hard to focus. You lose the simplicity of just being. You're never in the moment. And I feel like we're here now.
Well, and people lose the ability to actually communicate face to face. Like you said it, we're guilty of it like anybody else. When you're in a room together and everybody's looking at their phones, that's not really like social intercourse.
Correct.
No,
you're absolutely right.
And back in the day, you'd hang out, you'd watch MTV or whatever. You'd be like, oh, this video sucks. No, it's all right. I like it. And you would just you'd talk to each other. You'd hang out.
I tell you why it sucked, and you don't know what you're talking about, Billy.
Yeah. And how come all these artists are white? How come we can't get some hip hop on here? Okay. All right. Now we got MTV Raps. All right, cool. But you'd have these discussions.
Yeah. You played board games. You played outside. You spend time with your family, whether you liked it or not. It did have an influence on you because you did feel kind of connected. I mean, I did college applications by hand. I was so ridiculous. I thought I could just put down any grade point average.
Well, I just randomly picked some schools. Arizona State, that sounds cool. Yeah, I bet I could get into there. Yeah, no.
But, why not? Party school.
Yeah.
I mean, Gene, from your background as being a high-level athlete, I mean, how different is that? I mean, I'm sure people were bothering you about going to college and for your athleticism, et cetera. How'd you navigate that?
Navigate what?
Well, just the whole, where am I going to college? The outside pressures of actually performing.
I was the Nebraska lineman of the year, and the University of Nebraska said, "No, we don't want you." And Iowa State did.
Their loss.
That was that. I was talking to Tom Osborne on the phone, and he's like, "You're a little too short and don't fit the profile steroids that we usually go for." And you could walk on, as a preferred walk on. They didn't have that word back then, but you could walk on and maybe earn a scholarship at the semester. And I'm like, dude, I got a scholarship at Iowa State waiting for me, T.O. I can't just fucking walk on. My parents are teachers and social workers. They don't have that kind of cash. He's like, yeah, do you want to give up your dream of being a Husker? Like, I think I just did. Click.
Wasn't much of a dream anyway, really.
So I think I just did. So
and then how were your parents part of that process or what?
I mean, they paid for the camps I went to, the Iowa State summer football.
I just mean as far as where you went.
I applied, dude. I did what you did. I applied. I did a lot of like football applications, football questionnaires. I sent them off to USC, or I get a letter. I get these letters from all these colleges and fill this shit out, and they were all football schools, and I would gladly and happily do it because I thought they were interested in me, but they were just form fucking letters. They were sending out to all athletes to see if they could get more walk-ons and shit. But I think the best part of us growing up as Gen Xers is we were all analog, dude, and analog was dangerous. We were playing fucking jarts, man. We weren't sitting on our phone texting our buddy who just lost his credit card like transaction fees, acting like we're the bank and freaking him out and filming it. That's what they do. That's what they do today for fun. We're literally throwing fucking like heart darts at you, fucking just trying to kill each other and shit, or taking our Schwinn bikes and jumping off of fucking retaining walls, or going up to the old burned up Indian reservation and throwing rocks up there until a boulder slides down and cracks your brother in the head. And then you put him on the back of your fucking Schwinn and you ride him home, and you don't see the sand when you're making a right turn, and you fucking wipe out and you both fuck yourselves up. But you're so freaked out because your brother's bleeding profusely, you run up the fucking hill anyway and go, Jason got hurt. It wasn't me. And then you run to the fucking hospital. And the doctor goes, what happens? And then Jason goes, he did it. And then your parents look at you. That shit was fucking dangerous, and it was fucking fun. And we did that shit all. That's a true story, by the way. And we did that shit all. I scalped my brother through a big ass fucking rock off at the burned down Indian reservation, not too far from our house. And it slid down, and it cracked him right in the head, and it fucking took a big chunk of skin and just scalped him. And I thought I fucking killed, and it made a big thud.
Oh my God! And the scalp's a bleeder.
You actually love your brother, even though you hate your brother. Because I put him on I'm like, my parents will kill me if I kill my brother. I put him on the back of my bike, and I got him home as fast as I could, but we wiped out, fucking skinned up my fucking knees, and he still sold me out. So that was fucking Gen X. It was analog. It was an analog life. This digital shit, these digital tricks, this digital fun, trying to catch someone, doing something on a phone and making it go fucking viral. We weren't worried about viral, dude. We were about having fucking fun and surviving
that moment.
Mm-hmm. And just finding shit
I didn't have
to
to go on Instagram and see what a loser I was because everybody else was having such an amazing time.
Yeah,
I couldn't be bullied. I left school during the day. You go home and you're in your neighborhood. This is your comfort area. Nobody's coming in there to tell you that you suck and that you're terrible. Not to mention, do that to enough people, you don't have any friends because your friends are the people on the block around you. Mm-hmm. To your point, though, Gene, I think that's just a generational thing. Not only have we talked about Uncle Bill hitting me in the eye with a baseball,
and that
it was a foul ball, by the way.
Too.
Uncle Bill was not a great baseball player. And
not that good.
He practically took my eye out with a bow and arrow. I mean, and I don't remember him getting into trouble.
Well,
I shot my brother with a fucking Daisy air rifle. I loaded up with a bunch of fucking Morton salt. I said, this shouldn't hurt too bad. And I blasted him in the back when he was running up the stairs. And it was like a shotgun. It was terrible. It was like fucking, it was terrible. And then I shot him with a real BB in the shin or the fucking calf when he was young. And it stuck in there, embedded in there. And he had to pull. Dude, I was a fucking terrible brother.
You know what? I can see why he told you your door's unlocked and I will kill you.
Yeah, I will stab you.
Those aren't even the bad stories. I was a terrible brother. I was a terrible, terrible brother. And now that guy could squash me like a grape. But I don't mess with him again. Again, I gave him a black eye on his recruiting trip, but when
You said he earned that.
yeah, but he deserved it. He knows he deserved that one. Other than that, I've not messed with that dude. He is strong. I remember wrestling him one time. I was at my wife's mom's house in Arizona in Scottsdale when I was still playing. Full gene NFL body, strong as shit, full fucking. And we got to wrestling in my mother-in-law's fucking pool, and I could not believe for a non-NFL player how hard it was trying to wrangle this fucking kid wrestle. I was like, oh my God, this kid is a beast. I don't know if I can do it. He was wearing my ass out. I mean, old man strength came through, and I finally fucking got him, dude, but I didn't think I was going to, and I only got him because I'm an older brother, and I wasn't going to fucking be defeated by someone who wasn't in the NFL. But I don't know if I should have even won that one. I would call it a fucking draw. So he's a fucking beast, dude. He's always been a beast.
Well, but in your defense, Jason could have been in the NFL.
Yeah,
he could ball. He's an all-around athlete. He just had fucking fucked up feet, and he played the wrong position. Fucking running back. Jesus Christ, he's like 270 now. He should have been a tight end or some shit. So
yeah, he's a big man.
H-back.
He could have done like Lane Johnson and started off a quarterback in high school and just done it nutritionally and worked himself up to offensive.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Supernatural.
All nutrition and lifting weights and running up rocky stairs in Philadelphia and shit.
Well, and I want to tie it back together that I feel like the independence that we grew up with allowed us to have a little bit more creativity, how to come up with the story of how that might have happened. That wasn't my fault.
Mhm.
You use your brain a lot more. Now we just like you said, well, I'll just Google it.
You have AI now, dude. It's even scarier. You want
Yeah.
ChatGPT to help you with this? I'm like, oh my
Please,
God.
no.
Yeah, and it's not always right. That's the thing.
Oh, I know. It's always right about Elon, though. Ask Elon's Grok anything about Elon. Grok will tell you Elon's a piece of shit. So his AI is doing well. So.
Well, China's AI says nothing about human rights. So you can really bend it to any way that you want it to be. To me,
that's a scary thing.
Talked about this. My brother's a copywriter. He's a English writing major. There's a reason for that. We need that sort of thing instead of just putting it in and it sounds fake. It's not convincing. I find it not realistic at all and extremely upsetting. But that's for another show because I'm not on board with the AI at all.
I'm not buying it.
No. Fair enough.
But here we are, and we're following daily the destruction of our nation until we actually stand up, educate ourselves, gather together, and make some change. But it has to happen now. I'm with you, Gene. Do it in 4 weeks, not 4 years, but let's get going, people.
Yeah, a message.
Well, the people are going. I think the people are fucking here. The people we elected, we got duped, man. I think everybody got duped a little bit. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. I think you did not get what you fucking voted for.
But they still come out and defend it. That Alford guy, who's the Kansas City congressman, people come out and they're giving him a hard time because they didn't vote for Musk. They want to know what he's going to do about it.
Yeah.
Do you support Trump? These guys have no answers because they don't know what to do. They're sitting there with their putt in their hand because they're just not that smart. They got in for a reason, for support of the devil. Here they are. Now, what are you going to do for us? And that's both sides of the aisle. People are pissed off and they want change.
Yeah, they are.
Smart brown Indian guy, Vivek Ramaswamy, that's running for governor, figured that shit out within a week. Oh, what did I say?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he's running for governor in Ohio. He figured that shit out real quick and got the fuck out of that shit. He knew it was bullshit. It's just they're corrupt to the core. I'm not saying Vivek isn't corrupt, but that shit was so blatantly, obviously, just unconstitutional and illegal and unethical.
And it's still going on.
And his corruption was when he was in the pharmaceutical business.
Yeah, he already did all his corruption. He already made all his fucking money.
Yeah, you or I pull that shit, we're going to jail.
Yeah, we're not.
We are gonna pull that shit. We're gonna come up with a new version of jarts, and we're gonna tip the end of them with some sort of medicine that if you get hit, it's gonna cure you with everything. And then we're gonna, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Whatever. I mean, it's not much more than fucking what Vivek Ramaswamy did. Took a known fucking shit drug and packaged it and fucking got a bunch of fucking investors and stole their fucking money. I mean, that's basically what he did. And
With the help of his mother.
they do it all the time, and they think that shit's creative. And they think I don't understand rich people. I don't understand their destruction, but it's all about them, I guess.
Yeah, dude, they're never enough is never enough. They're never happy, and they don't care if they ask to get it.
Yeah.
You know, they'll commit fraud, they'll commit murder, they'll lie, they'll cheat. They don't care, and it's never enough. And why should we pay taxes? We're wealthy. But what was it that you sent today? Was it France? To put a tax on the billionaires?
Yeah. My wife sent me that. Yeah.
And what percentage supported it of the general public in France?
All of them.
I want to say it was 95%.
I'm paraphrasing, but all of them that fucking matter. The working class.
Yeah.
Which is what this is, dude. That we have to put a temporary pause on our little race war thing and all this fucking nonsense and all of our fucking differences that we see, because we actually enjoy all of our differences. You know how boring this world would be if it was just all one monolithic thing. But put a temporary fucking hold on this race war and make this shit about a class war. And we can do this shit together. I mean, we've gotten together before on tragedies, and this is a fucking tragedy, dude.
This is.
Yeah, it is.
Fucking country, people are committing suicide. He's fast tracking a recession, and he's about to give all your money to a fucking like 6 billionaires. And you motherfuckers think it's okay what Lyndon Baines Johnson said, you know, just go ahead and DEI your way into fucking bankruptcy because you're gonna be broke. They're picking your pocket, right?
And you're being kind with this talk of recession because voices out of Canada say depression, consumer confidence has plunged in February, the biggest in 4 years. I think 4 years ago we were in a pandemic. Thank you, Trump. Thank you. Great job.
Donald
everybody.
does it again. This guy is the reverse king. Everything he touches turns to shit.
Yeah.
Just ask the Kansas City Chiefs. Just ask that fucking hockey team. Ask any sports team that he's ever fucking endorsed. He's got like 100% fucking loss. Ask the USFL.
The USFL, man, he crashed it single-handedly.
The NFL was smart enough to go, no, we'll let you be president. We ain't fucking up our fucking league. So,
yeah,
those are facts, dude. I mean,
Pete Rozelle wouldn't even take a meeting with him. He was like, "Fuck no."
It's all good. Do we have happy endings today, Rob, or what's going on? We're gonna do happy endings today, or
we could do happy endings. To get to that happy ending, I want to use the woman in Idaho. I'm sure you saw. That town hall.
With that?
Yep.
What's the latest update?
She made one question. They didn't like it. People in the town hall said, "I thought this was a town hall, not a lecture." And then all of a sudden, these guys in dark hats came and started trying to pull her out of the town hall. I have
trying to zip tie her.
I have some photos. I'm going to start with her getting hauled out. I mean, if you watch the video, it was ridiculous. It was unnecessary.
It's literally the only time I've seen it in white woman history where a white woman screams out, "I'm being assaulted," and asks for help and literally didn't get it.
Nobody can. So this is her. I mean, I saw the zip ties come out. Like, what is going on in Idaho at the town hall? So long story short, this gentleman right here is the sheriff. It was his security company that he owns that pulled her out of there. And the interesting and happy ending for me is the woman was not charged with anything, but Sheriff Dimbulb over here, he's now being accused of disability fraud because he's got partial disability on both his shoulders to the tune of he collects about $150,000 a year. I hope Doge is listening to this.
Yeah.
So his disability insurance, not even insurance, his disability check's gone because he was able to really pull her out of there and he got caught on camera. Here, a couple of good arms right here.
Shoulders fine.
A good tug. Oh, look at this one. Here's another good tug from the sheriff. Nice job, buddy. And $150,000. And here he is getting up close and personal. I think he's used zip ties before, I'm sure. And my happy ending is that you fucked yourself. So great job.
Hey, Rob, I'm no kinesiology major, but those shoulders were operating quite well with those hands, elbows, arms, legs, and the rest of it. He's all fucking bent over and hunched. I wish I could fucking hunch over like that.
I know, right? Way to go.
I got a bad shoulder. Where's my disability check?
That is good news. That is a happy ending. I'm going to take a little piece of that happy ending with me. Good.
And I hope there's a follow-up lawsuit against the sheriff's office or the
I
county.
think so. And to your point, nobody helped. And
Yeah.
after people saw this video, they were like, try it in my community because I will be there and I will go with her, because you just don't put your hands on a woman that asked a question while seated.
And
because
unmarked,
And they wouldn't
no
identify
badges,
themselves either.
she kept asking. That's right.
Dude, remember Trump did this bullshit with the Border Patrol back during the Black Lives Matter protests, brought a bunch of people from a different state in, took all their badging off, gave them all their weaponry, and they're running around just snatching people
off the street,
throwing them in fucking white vans. I still haven't gotten over that shit. The Democrats didn't do shit about that. Just let that shit go. This is fucking, I mean, dudes, if dudes, find your flock, make some noise, shit on that.
Get into some good trouble, make some good
really
trouble.
missing your stick.
And don't rely on fucking Hakeem Jeffries or one of these fucking elected
Hell
officials.
no.
Yeah,
It's up to us.
They're
It's
gonna
up to
get
us.
into no good trouble. They are cowardly. That's
They
crazy.
really are. They're gutless.
That's crazy. No identification whatsoever, running around like that, like some sort of fucking brown shirts. That's fucked up.
That's right. That's very un-American. Uncle Bill, happy ending for yourself?
I ran into a guy that I see at my gym all the time. Older guy, I think he's like 70. Guy's in amazing shape, but looking at him, you would think this guy is all MAGA, right? Got like the shaved head, really buff older guy. But you talk to him, you find out this guy drives a Prius, man. This guy worked for the federal government for like 30 years. He's like, I'm disgusted. I am so fed up with this bullshit. He's like, I spent my career trying to help people and make this country better. And this is fucking bullshit. This is un-American. So
nice.
Talk to people, have a conversation. Don't judge by, you know, how somebody looks or presents, but fucking have those conversations, make those
maybe by what they drive. Okay. If they're in a G-Wagon, they're probably not on your team.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you know, this dude's driving a Prius. I would have thought for sure he's driving a jacked up pickup truck, but you know, don't make those assumptions and talk to people, have those conversations, and you know, it makes you feel better, but it also helps you connect.
Well, good on you, Uncle Bill, for reaching out to find out. Gino, you got something?
Oh yeah, that segues nicely into my happy ending about don't judge someone by the vehicle they drive, because I drive a fucking Tesla. And I
you
bought
need to
that,
get one of those.
That shit way before fucking Elon bought fucking Twitter.
You need to get the sticker.
A black man from fucking an American descendant of slavery. I don't want to hear any fucking nonsense about fucking you shouldn't be driving that car. You should do what Cheryl. Leave me the fuck alone. We've suffered enough. And my happy ending was literally I didn't have to plug into any Tesla stations that were adorned with swastika symbols, because that's happening quite a bit all over the world where they're painting black swastikas on his thing. But I didn't run into that. And it would have been very awkward for me, a black man, to plug into a Tesla thing that had a giant swastika on it. So that's what my happy ending is. I got to Nebraska without having to see that, but I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong.
Sure. And to piggyback off that, Tesla sales in Europe are down 40%. That's in the last 6 weeks.
Nice.
So golf clap.
Yep.
I wouldn't buy a Tesla today, but I ain't fucking selling it right fucking now when this recession.
No. You need to get that bumper sticker though that says I bought this before Musk.
Don't wash the motherfucker, dude. What else can I do to show you I don't give a fuck? The thing does not get washed, dude. It is covered in bugs and shit. It doesn't get washed. That's all I can fucking do. And they have a million different stickers, and Melissa and I have literally looked over and over again, but I can't find one that says Gene and Melissa. They're just too generic or some shit. They're not funny enough, or I don't know. It just doesn't convey how I actually fucking feel or something.
And for the record, I don't do bumper stickers. I would never put one on my car. I don't like to be labeled as anything other than get to know me. Then you can hate me.
Yeah,
I figured the dirty cars is it's people keep their Teslas fucking clean, dude. It's got to mean something that my Tesla just looks like shit.
Well, what if you trace in the dirt, fuck Musk?
Listen,
why don't you fly to fucking Cleveland and fucking do it for me in your little fucking little ET hand, and then that way I won't be doing it to myself.
Watch what you ask for, Gene.
Yeah,
I'll just
He'll
leave
be
it
there
on.
tomorrow.
I'll be sleeping on your couch for a month.
Time to do downward dog on our carpet while we're doing a project.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I'm just kidding. But anyway,
that was a long
that was
time
my
ago.
It's I just didn't see any swastikas, but I understand the fucking outrage, and I understand why no one wants to buy a Tesla now, and I wouldn't either. Mine's a
Amen.
so
But you still got your Volt.
I still have the Volt, my daughter's Volt, and we drive it
Nicely
all the
done.
time. And yeah, and we're always looking for something greater. And I'm waiting for technology 2.0 to come along in electric cars, like a newer generation battery that holds like fucking 800
We got to
miles.
get rid of this guy first.
Yeah.
So right now,
happen.
This
I'm
guy's
hanging
driving
on
us
to
dragging
it.
us backwards.
Technology is all equivalent right now. I'm not gonna fucking hop into somebody else's shit and just slide into the same tech. I want
Not
something-
happening.
I hear
Well,
you.
listen, fellas, I'm gonna have to let you go. I'm glad we
All right.
started a little earlier for you, Gene. Or at
All right,
least
no problem.
me.
I'm in Nebraska, no problem. I gained a fucking hour so we could do this show at your time.
I appreciate it.
That's a
All right,
team
no
player right there.
Good talking to you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
Thursday.
All right, buddy.
All
See you
right.
guys.
Yeah.